Hello everyone, welcome to my March 2nd EV Ramblings update video. Today I'm going to talk about the Hyundai Kona EV that was just announced, also the Jaguar I-PACE, and a 2015 Volkswagen eGolf. Plus I'm going to be answering some of the comments and questions that were posted on my channel. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing. I'm up to actually 752 subscribers as of recording this video. And I'd just like to give a little bit of shout out to the people that it shows who have subscribed. We have Ray A, William Hubert, Peter French, Yuan Chang, Dai, Andre Camara, James Chang, Wearing Suits, Lohan76, DO47M, Jesse Huber, Adrianus Johan, William Armstrong, Jesper Lundberg, Carlos O, Alan Piggin, COL 888881, Bobby Bear 105, Francisco Julian Catoni, Moran Nathan, Otzi84, and Jan De Bruin. Thank you for subscribing, really appreciate it. Once again, I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you aren't subscribed, please just hit the subscribe below and help me out, that'd be awesome. So, I'm going to first talk about the 2015 Volkswagen eGolf. I'm actually going to be driving one tomorrow. It's going to be my first time in one of them, and really my first time up close to one of them. So it's going to be a full driving reaction video. I'm also going to do the 360-degree interior. This is obviously a used vehicle, but it is one of the premium edition ones. And I've always kind of considered the eGolf a little bit of a unicorn of a vehicle. I always kind of thought it as a compliance car within North America, but Volkswagen obviously has been really promoting electric vehicles, and I already have a coworker who has ordered a brand new one, so it'll be interesting to kind of see what this one's like, and if I have a chance to check out the new one to see what differences have been introduced. But look for those videos coming up very shortly. I'm going to try to upload them probably Sunday, and it's Friday at the moment. Now, I'm going to switch gears now and talk about the Jaguar I-PACE. So the I-PACE is actually, it was just shown a couple days ago, and it's available now for purchase, or at least for ordering. It has a listed range of 386 kilometers. It has a 90 kilowatt hour battery, so that's an absolutely massive battery pack. And it is classified as an SUV. Now, it's kind of, there should be a little picture above me here I'm going to put up, but it's an interesting looking vehicle. It's not what your traditional SUV would look like. It's a little bit longer stretched and it's a little bit lower. It is still a large car though. And to me, it actually looks like a Faraday Future, the FF91. That's their production car, except it just looks like it's been shrunk a little bit. But most of the styling on it and the window line and the roof line, really, it just reminds me of what that car looks like. Now, performance-wise, the vehicle has two electric motors, one in the front, one in the back, so essentially it's all-wheel drive, just like the Tesla Model X. And they're claiming it'll do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds. It seats 5. And it's listed, from what I could tell, I couldn't actually get prices off the Canadian website, but from what I've researched, it looks like it's going to come in starting at under $100,000 US dollars. So it is not a cheap vehicle. But probably one of the highlights, just from doing my research online, I obviously haven't seen one, is the interior. The interior is just super crazy, really it's futuristic thing. The center console is really slanted, has looks like almost a digital screen on it, and these really funky controls. So I'm going to be very interested to actually see one of these in person. The local company that owns the Mitsubishi dealership that did the Outlander plug-in hybrid, they're actually the same group that owns the Jaguar dealership in town. So I've already reached out to them to see if maybe I could get into one of these when they actually get one. I'm not sure when those delivery dates are actually going to happen, but hopefully we're going to see that in the future. Now, for some of my other plans, I'm thinking after I do the eGolf, I actually might be able to get into a 2018 Nissan Leaf. One of the local dealerships got one, and obviously I've reached out and I have connections to most of the dealerships in town. And they're offering that for me to go for a quick test drive. This would just be very short. So I'm going to try to put it off until maybe to get a little bit more inventory so I could take it on a longer journey. But I might try to do a 360-degree interactive interior video. And obviously the Volvo XC90 is still on my list of things to do. There's one ready for me. I was going to do that actually last weekend, but it turned out being horrible weather. There was snow and ice. And it's a very expensive vehicle. I would not want to wreck it while out making a video. So I'm just going to put that off until a future date. And I did mention the Hyundai Kona EV. So this was actually brought up to me and this is by a user Kirby Yo. And he wrote a week ago, he said, "Thanks for the great videos, subbed. I would like to hear your thoughts on the Hyundai Kona EV after the event on the 27th of February. And I responded saying that I would talk about it, and here I am. So the Kona EV it's an interesting thing. It's not going to be in North America for a while. It looks like it's going to be available in Europe later on this year in 2018, and I wouldn't think we're going to see it until sometime in 2019. But it comes in two configuration. So this is, first off, I guess let's just talk about it. This is Hyundai's city SUV, they call it. It's kind of the smaller, I don't even know, you could almost probably call it a crossover type vehicle. And it has a 39.2 kilowatt hour battery pack or a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. So huge difference in there. The 39.2 actually matches what the 2018 Nissan Leaf has, and the 60 kilowatt matches the Chevrolet Bolt. And prices, it looks like, are starting at about 30,000 euros. So I imagine that's around 40,000 Canadian. So, you know, that's probably a little bit higher than what the Leaf is going to sell for. Interestingly, like, this is based on a gasoline vehicle, which Hyundai's been doing, like with the Ioniq. But this one is actually only front-wheel drive, where you could get the gasoline one in all-wheel drive. And there's been some speculation online, people thinking that it's probably just because of the way that the car is configured. There isn't actually room in the back to put like an electric motor, which is something you'd have to do with an EV. So it's a little bit disappointing in that regard. And what is also very interesting is the cars based on the battery pack are actually configured differently in terms of electric motor size. So the smaller vehicle, the 39.2 kilowatt hour, actually only has a 99 kilowatt hour electric motor, whereas the bigger battery pack has a 150 kilowatt hour motor, and the 150 basically matches what's in the Chevrolet Bolt. So odd reasoning. I'm not sure. Like, I could understand that if you have a bigger battery pack, the vehicle is going to weigh more, so you would need a larger electric motor. I'm just not sure why you wouldn't just use that same bigger motor across both of the vehicles, because I don't think the price is going to be that big of a difference in terms of manufacturing it. And of course, this does affect the speed of how the car accelerates and would handle. In the 39.2 kilowatt hour, it's listed at 9 or 10 seconds 0 to 60 time, whereas in the bigger vehicle, you're looking more around the 6 second time. So a big difference there. And yeah, I just find that really odd, a little bit off-putting. And I'm not sure, like, obviously I'm gonna wait until they're here and I can really see it. And there's apparently a lot of pre-orders in Norway. Like, people are really looking forward to this vehicle, and it's always good to have another vehicle on the market. But the way it looks and it's styled and everything, it honestly just reminds me of everything we've seen already, like with the Nissan Leaf or the Bolt or the eGolf. It just looks kind of like a bigger hatchback. So yeah, I'm willing to hold my judgment obviously till I see it, but for right now I'm not as impressed as I would hope I would be. Okay, and going on to a few other user comments. So we have Mark Garnett. Thanks for writing this, Mark. Mark wrote, "This was on the Outlander plug-in hybrid. Thanks for a really useful in-depth review. I would love a version of this in full EV mode, not a hybrid, or a 100-mile EV and small range extender generation in the boot. The point being, this is so close to being a useful EV, but only has 30 miles or 40 kilometer range. Even if that range was sufficient, you are lugging around a great big engine, this will need servicing, unlike a full EV. Wonder who will be the first to make such a vehicle, and affordable." And he said, could be Mitsubishi themselves, as I believe they have more EVs in the works. Interesting times. And Mark is going to stick with his 80-mile EV for now, so that's probably a Nissan Leaf. And I do agree with a lot of those points. And at the end of my video, in the extended one, I did kind of ponder of, you know, I love one of the Outlander in that configuration and just a full battery pack, like no gas motor, just with a much longer range. And I think Mitsubishi would have a huge winner if they did that as well. But, you know, who knows if they're actually going to do that or not. And obviously batteries cost a lot of money, and the structure that car is built on is still a gasoline structure. So you may not have the space to put all those batteries that you need. But I do still think, though, that the Outlander plug-in hybrid is a really good solution for a lot of people. Even though you are lugging around all the gasoline components and that adds weight, still being able to get 40 kilometers of all-electric range on battery for your regular everyday driving is still fantastic in such a large, full capable SUV. So, yeah, no, but you brought up a lot of great points, and, you know, thank you for writing that. That just gives people more things to think about when they're possibly thinking about buying the Outlander. And the final comment I'm going to talk about here is by Future Systems 738. They have a 2014 model plug-in hybrid EV in Australia and absolutely love it. It's a delight to drive, and especially in EV mode in traffic. They love the flappy panel regen controls, and also love that the initial brake pedal application is actually regen rather than brake application, regardless of your B setting. They're saying their brake pads and rotors have absolutely negligible wear, and there's of course no regen when the battery is chock full. So this is, thanks for writing that comment. It was really good to get that insight from someone who's, I think 2014 was the absolute first year that vehicle was offered. That you still like it, like 4 years on, right? That says a lot. And they have made improvements in the vehicle. And a lot of things you write about here is a big advantage of electric vehicles, like your batteries and your brakes and rotors will last ages, like so much longer than a combustion vehicle, because your electric motors are doing a lot of the braking to recapture energy, therefore taking off the strain off the brake components. So yeah, no, thanks again for writing that. That's awesome. And I'm going to try to keep this short, so this is going to be basically the end here, but I do have a question for all of you, and this is about frequency, like how often you'd like me to upload these videos and talk about maybe some of the news or what I'm doing. Right now I've been trying to do every 2 weeks, but would you rather see 1 week, maybe once a month? Just please let me know in the comments. I really appreciate your input. Thanks for watching, and look for that the Volkswagen eGolf driving reaction video coming soon. Thanks.